I'm ready to roll, bro. I've got topics galore.
Yeah.
Okay, Bismillah, Assalamu alaikum. This is episode 193 or 4 or something. And it is the annual sponsored by Quranly episode.
They released dark mode today.
All right, bro, relax. Flip the neck. That's what I said. It's sponsored by Quranly. And this is the annual Ramadan episode. Now we discuss how amazing we're going to be in Ramadan. Allahumma ballighna Ramadan, ya Rab.
I mean, we're not there yet. About a couple of days, inshallah.
Few days, yes. So I listened to, well, not all of it, like a bit of Freshly Grounded's Ramadan episode.
I did the same thing yesterday.
Come on, bro. Well, then we got a bit of inspiration for ours, isn't it?
Now we can criticize.
I think we're quite different from Faisal and Kaya, you know?
It's interesting you say that.
I think they're more British than us.
Yeah.
I mean, Faisal is like 100% British, okay?
I heard Kaya, like, he bashed Deglet Noor during the podcast.
Bro, I heard that.
Catch that?
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
You know, it wasn't even he bashed it, yeah? He just, like, brushed it to the side like it's nothing.
He goes, none of that stuff. I was like, whoa.
Even though I don't like it myself. But anyway.
I just had some. So, but...
لا ما عجبنيش.
You know what? I was watching some videos last night. I might share them on my Instagram if anyone follows me on Instagram. There was this Instagram... let me start again. There was this Instagram account that was posting like lots of religious stuff from Tunisia.
Okay. So
like clips of like people giving reminders and stuff from mainstream television and famous YouTube channels.
Yeah.
And yes, essentially it was really interesting. I just thought, this is a side of Tunisia I've never really seen before.
Yes.
You know, and there was like Algerians that would come. Well, there was like Algerians and Moroccans and stuff that were visiting Tunisia and giving reminders. And
Algerians have to come and teach you your religion, innit?
Don't say this. Don't say this one.
There was that clip that was like being shared everywhere. That guy singing that song.
That was years ago.
That was on Tunisian TV, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was good to see, you know, especially on primetime TV, to see a lot of those kind of things.
Bro, I'm sure, like you've been to Turkey, but you haven't got to know Turkish culture. I mean, even I haven't that much, right? But I'm sure Tunisia is way ahead of Turkish culture in that stuff.
Really?
Like, even though, like, Turkey's a huge country, 85 million people, so, you know, there's a good chunk who are religious and etc., yeah? But there's a good chunk who are not.
Well, now's the time. Ramadan is upon us. And we've got to fix up or mix up. What was I doing yesterday?
Preparing for Ramadan. Just meditating and just like asking Allah to cleanse you of your sins and to bring Ramadan close to you and make it a means of Jannah for you.
Yeah, it's not one that it's a bit of an unpredictable one. I haven't got much of a plan really, which is a shame this year. Because my timetable was a bit sporadic. Got a few things going on all at once. But what about you? Have you got like a bit of a plan going forward?
I do.
Go for it.
I do.
Teach us, sensei.
Not sharing.
Oh, wow, you suck. Okay.
Imagine I just said that and the episode's over.
That's it. Sharing.
No, bro, I will get into that, but I wanted to follow Freshly Grounded structure.
Really?
Yeah, they started talking about food first.
Oh yeah. Okay. What is this? Copyrighted.
You know.
Okay.
You know, I like to have structure, Ron. This is going to be a good episode because there's structure to it. Okay. You know, I forgot about. I'm going to say like 4-5 years ago. I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. I don't remember. Yeah, but there was a time when I did see Ramadan as being just about like fooding for eating and not eating. Yeah, like that was the main thing. It wasn't about Taraweeh. It wasn't about Quran. It wasn't about like worship. It was just like fasting. You know what I mean? And you know, it's funny. Like I don't even see it like that anymore. But for most of my life, I saw it like that. You know, how do you see it, or how did you see Ramadan?
100%.
Same thing.
Yeah, you know, my most vivid memories of Ramadan were back in Tunis, and you know, the culture, they're getting ready for the food, the adverts on TV, the different shows that are on, that kind of thing.
دقلة نار.
I even
شوربة.
I even
Burak.
remember. I even remember like my only. So where we live in Tunis, we didn't have a masjid in front of us back then. We do now, alhamdulillah. But back then we didn't have one. But the nearest masjid was in town. There's one in town and there's one in the mountains behind us. So all I remember of the masjid is like, oh, wait for the light to come on, because if you can't hear the adhan, they'll put the light on.
Oh, it's like a lighthouse.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So if they put the light on, you know it was
Time.
it was time. It was maghrib. So I used to sit on top of the roof and wait for the light to come on,
sick.
because it's so far away you can't hear the adhan anyway.
SubhanAllah.
So that was my only kind of knowledge of what the masjid was when I was a kid. I didn't know,
because you didn't have experience of masjid in England either, Yani.
No, yeah, absolutely not. And then and then I didn't know anybody that would go to the masjid. I lived with women there, so they didn't necessarily go, and I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know. So yeah, that was my experience, I think, growing up. But yeah, it wasn't until I'm trying to think. Yeah, I guess when I started practicing, a lot of that is a blur. You know, when you start practicing and stuff, it's a lot of, you learn so much information all at once that it's difficult to pick out little bits of like, oh, I remember when I learned about Ramadan, or I remember when I learned about this, or whatever. So
I remember the first time. This was I remember vividly, actually, 2011. It was the first time that I kind of read the whole Quran in Ramadan, but I did it by listening to a recording and then following along.
Yeah.
And I thought that's the only way I'm going to do it, like in a reasonable amount of time. And so that was like the gateway for me to like reading like back to back, like front to back, Annie.
Now there's so many sort of tools available, isn't there? Not that I'm going to stop plugging.
I'm just waiting for this segue.
Waiting for the plug. You know what? I am not sponsored, okay? I just love it. But yeah, lots of things like that, man. Lots of things like that.
Another change I had was like, it's like, it's this funny, but is a turning point in my life when Ramadan was, after breaking the fast, I would eat so much that I would just be uncomfortable for the rest of the night.
Yep.
There's pre-that, like there's during that time, and then there's post that period of my life, right?
Yeah.
So like, it took me many Ramadans, and this shows you the pull of the desire to eat and stuff, right? And like enjoy and all that, yeah? I remember like for many Ramadans, I was very aware of this discomfort and how every day almost I would eat a lot or eat like specific like heavy stuff or whatever, and I would just be like, damn, like this is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I still did it, like, because I did it for the whole Ramadan, and then Ramadan would end and I would forget next year that, oh yeah, don't do that stupid thing. Yeah. But then I would do it again, and I would do that every Ramadan, yani, for many Ramadans. And I guess a lot of people do that still, right? Like even later in their 30s, 40s, etc., they're still doing that, right? I see the buffets, I see the mountains of food and stuff. But alhamdulillah, now for the last whatever few years, it's very easy on the food, yani, like soup. Like I know now, deep in my head, I know if I just have soup, I'm good. Nothing else is needed, right? I still eat a bit more, but but just a little bit of more, you know.
Do you have much say in like what's cooking?
I only have the say.
Oh, mashallah.
No, I don't know. I mean, me and my wife are on the same page when it comes to that, like just some soup. And I mean, maybe when we first got married, my wife might have seen the traditional Algerian setup and been like, okay, I've got to do that. But then I don't remember fully, but maybe I was just like, because by then I was on this more light eating vibe. So I was like, look, it's just the soup, lazim. Yani, you can't get rid of the soup. And then just another just meal, like something. Not necessarily need salad or any starters, you know, burak or samosa, however. Although my wife makes that quite often as well.
Yeah.
But I really do like need the soup though. Like I don't know. I struggle without the soup.
Well, it's ingrained, isn't it? It's part and parcel, not just of the fundamental opening up your stomach with soup kind of thing, but also the culture as well that we come from.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, I think I hold on to it mostly because I feel like it's healthy. Like my
mm,
stomach is happy with that being the first thing. You know.
absolutely, yeah.
Um, yeah.
Making
What
me,
about
making
you?
me hungers, making me hungers. Well, what crazy, interesting things have I been up to in terms of food and planning? I haven't done much Ramadan shopping, just general shopping.
Do
There
you
isn't
do
really
like Ramadan shopping? Like, what's the difference?
for specific things. So, like, I went and got like malsuqa for the burek. I don't know what you guys call it, the pastry thing.
Oh,
We call it malsuqa, but I don't know if
no, they
that's
don't
my
call that in
Tunisian or
Algeria.
I don't know if it's my Tunisian or Moroccan
Is it
side.
called? I can't remember what they call it.
My wife said the name the other day. I said malsuqa. She looked at me like I just swore or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We
And then
don't
she
call it
told
that.
me.
It's
um,
basically. I think it's in English like phyllo pastry. In Turkish, they call it yufka. So they have it.
Yufka.
They have it over here. So
Okay. Oh, that must be interesting, having to have an Algerian Ramadan in a Turkish state. Are there any Algerians there that you're aware of? That you're
yeah,
friends with? Oh,
yeah.
you said that with a broken voice, as if like you want to be friends with them, but you're not friends with them.
Oh, did my voice
Yeah.
right?
A
Yeah,
little-
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
No,
Best friends.
there are Algerians for sure. Let me think. How many do I know? I know like two, three of them. One of them I was like kind of close with, but he left. He went back to the UK. Subhanallah. He said the education options were not good enough for his kids, and it was like so bad, and so he just left.
Oh,
Because after like he was here for like a year or more. Yeah, good guy, mashallah. But yeah, so I know like some Libyans as well.
yeah.
Libya's pretty much as close as I get to Algeria over here. Like in terms
Really?
of, there's a lot of Libyans here,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I know one Tunisi as well. Yeah, very good guy, Tunisi. Yeah.
Allah barik. Allah barik. We're good people, you see. But my DNA says I'm probably mostly Algerian anyway. What was I saying? So yeah, I've requested
Yeah, yeah.
some
Ramadan shopping. You were
shorba.
saying, why is that?
Yeah, I've requested some shorba. I've requested some maybe harira if my wife wants to make it.
Wait, what's shorba and harira? What's the difference? What's shorba?
Okay, so shorba is like a more grain-based soup.
So
You
it's
guys
not
know.
blended and therefore it's got bits in it, yani.
Yeah.
Yes, and
And then
harira is
harira,
blended. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, harira is more blended. It's from Morocco, the one that we usually have.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I thought you were trying to pass off Harira's exclusively Moroccan.
Oh no, sorry. That's where I've got it from, Yanni. That's where I know
Yeah,
it from.
yeah, okay, yeah.
What else? And then borek. You guys call it borek. We call it brik. That's what. Yeah, those are the fundamentals. Those are fundamentals. Anything else can go after that. You can have whatever you want after that.
So what about you? Like, if you have that, you have the brick, you have the soup, the shorba, the harira, whatever the dates. What if you just had that? Is that like calm or like?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting because the past couple of months I've been like, not to talk about my dieting all over again, but I've been like trying to stick to a calorie deficit and training. I've been training quite consistently, alhamdulillah, the gym. And yeah, it'll be interesting because I'm doing like intermittent fasting now. I'm sticking to somewhere between, what am I?
16 hours?
Yeah. So
16.8.
I was just seeing the calorie intake. Yeah, so about 1,600 on a weekday and like 1,800 and something on a weekend. Like that's the calories. That's what I'm sort of sticking to.
Wait, what on a weekday? How much on a weekday?
1,600.
Oh, that's low.
I seem to be all right with it.
What's your resting, metabolism rate or whatever it's called?
It says here projected 2,500. That's based on my Apple Watch. Apparently.
That's a lot. Oh, but you're a tall guy.
Well, I'm not that tall. I'm average, 5'10".
Damn, that means I'm short if you're average.
Apparently, I'm average. I looked at the statistics.
Maybe in the UK, yeah.
Maybe in the UK. But not to diverge too much. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting because not only I've got a lot of like work to do in the evenings, lots of bits and pieces to do in the evenings, so I need to kind of navigate that. What I am planning to do, not to go into the worship too much, just to combine it. I'm trying. I think this year I want to do a lot of Taraweeh at home, and not like
On
I'm
purpose.
just gonna
Not because you
on
have to
purpose.
this time.
Not because of purpose. Because I did it a couple of times, maybe last year or the year before,
Yeah.
and actually, I find
Mucho bueno.
I find it mucho bueno, like a nice experience, because I'm leading my family in Taraweeh, and they wouldn't necessarily have the ability to go otherwise.
Right.
I can do it at whatever time is suitable for all of us.
Yeah.
Instead of like usually what will happen is like I have to rush dinner, can't spend any time with my family at all, and then go all the way to the masjid, be there all night, and then come back, and they're already gone to bed or whatever it is. And that kind of family vibe, and the kind of family vibe doesn't exist now. One could argue that maybe there's a different level of reward performing it in the masjid and stuff, but I still, I've read somewhere, I could be wrong, but I read somewhere that it's sometimes encouraged, I think, to even pray with your family or pray Taraweeh at home. I'm not sure, but night prayers in general there's going to be a reward in them, and then leading your family, there's your jama'ah anyway. And I think just getting them involved, because it's unlikely that the women in my family are going to have an opportunity to go to the masjid for Taraweeh.
What do you do with the kids though? Is that after the kids sleep? Or?
Yeah, after the kids sleep, and then because it's not compulsory prayers. If the baby's crying and we're in the middle of something, then it can be seen to. Do you understand? I can read the whole Quran, right in front of me. Obviously, I haven't memorized the entire Quran. May Allah make us of those who memorize the Quran. But for that which I don't know, I'll be reading it, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I want to do that because I think it just creates a bit of an event. Because what tends to happen is that women miss out a lot on the worship, because there's a culture of cooking all the time, and then the men leave, and then they're out every single day for 30 days. And and they're not part of that kind of environment. And I think I'd bring more to the house by
you would think there was a hadith about like the worship of the woman in Ramadan is cooking. That's what it's like. That's how much cooking is going on.
I know, and it's not it's not always necessary, and there's different people vary on how much they stick to that kind of cultural aspect. I know obviously the older generations will really like put a lot of pressure on themselves to.
Although I'm sure it's a modern thing, bro. Like people didn't even have that much food until like 50 years ago.
Yeah, it's probably included in a lot of marketing like that reached Muslim
Maggi
world,
noodles.
Right? Yeah, Maggi.
Not noodles, but the Maggi stock cubes. That's a big one. Yeah.
And also the cooking shows and stuff.
If you grew up in the Gulf, then you know this. Or if you just watch MVC in general, you got the stock cubes, big one, You got Vimto, right? Vimto's a big one. You got all these like packet stuff, packet soups. What else, man? It's been a while. I've been in Turkey for like nearly 3 years now, so
that's it.
And actually, I haven't had a TV. I haven't been watching Ramadan TV in Ramadan for like a long time now, so that's why I'm forgetting.
That is another thing, though. I've renewed my subscription to like this Arab TV thing. Have I mentioned it before? Arabcast?
No.
Okay, so Arabcast, for those that aren't aware, is quite a cool little number, which I will bring up because I shared it on Twitter to recommend it to people.
Arabcast. Is that cast?
I'm going to share it.
You got to get on with your...
very straightforward.
With your accent. Arabcast.
Can you stop? That's how I speak. You've
Yes,
had
it is
190 whatever episodes.
I know. I'm just like enjoying it today.
You know what? Somebody asked me, like, what is that accent? And I said, I don't know. I really don't. I don't actually know. I'm not Scottish.
Bro, it's a southern accent.
Okay. So I Googled that and I couldn't find anything to kind of compare myself because I'm living in this weird bubble where I don't really know what to compare myself to.
So what is this Arabcast?
So you can basically...
The easy way to watch your favorite Arabic TV. Okay.
Yeah, so if you've got like a Fire Stick, you can load this up onto a Fire Stick, which is what I do. But also, obviously, you can watch it.
Is this like legit or is it like pirated?
Oh, I don't know. You pay for it. You pay for it, so I assume it's all...
You pay the pirater or you pay the channel?
Maybe I've been paying the pirater all this time. To be honest, the prices are quite good, for a month. $
15 bucks.
So it's like £3 something.
Oh, £3? Oh, it says $3.50. So it's
You know.
£3.75. Okay.
You know, for 6 months it's 20 quid, and then obviously for a year it's
Yeah,
35.
this is definitely you're definitely paying the pirate.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I don't know,
Like,
man.
what channels do you get? It depends. Let's
You
see
get
the
so
channel.
many. So let me try and you get 400
400
live
channels. Okay.
channels.
But does that
I'm trying
include
to-
like NBC, for example?
Yeah, there is
Well,
some
then,
things.
well,
in
then you're
there.
definitely paying the pirate.
You think so?
Yeah.
You can't get this. You can't get this stuff anywhere else.
I remember, bro, back in the day, yeah? This is like early 2000s. We had Arabsat in the UK.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, I've switched to my... Now it's switched me to the wrong damn camera.
I wanted to list out the channels though. Wait a sec. Let me see. So I can't zoom in. It won't give me like a list. But just to zoom in. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm zooming in on my thing. Yeah, you've got like all the sort of channels for particular countries. So you've got all like the Tunisian channels, all the Moroccan ones, all the Algerian ones, all the Saudi.
You've got Al Jazeera Arabic. Okay.
Al
You've
Jazeera
got-
Arabic. You've got Spacetoon, love Spacetoon, NBC3,
Yes.
lots of news channels in Arabic, lots of cartoon channels in Arabic,
Yes.
and a few sports stuff as well.
Yeah.
And then you've got all your like Dubai things as well. Oh, and Samira TV, that's the honourable mention.
That's the one. That's the Ramadan one.
That's the one my wife wants on all the time. She loves it. And yeah, and it's it's teaching ladies how to cook.
Ask your wife if she knows Walid. She's the one.
I think she does know. I don't know why.
Walid is like, she's this cooking channel, YouTube channel, and she has like, I don't know, a ton of subscribers and views, but she's just like very simple channel. She doesn't show her face and just like cooking videos basically. Keeps it humble.
Our sisters love that stuff. Sisters love that stuff.
It's part of the vibe, to be honest. I've forgotten this whole thing, but now I remember it. It's part of the vibe in a way.
I know.
Even if it's just on in the background, you know, you're not even watching it.
My wife put together a little, was it bacon? Yeah, bacon video the other day. 20,000 views, bro. I was like, okay.
People getting ready for this Ramadan live.
We would love it. I was like, subhanAllah.
Oh, he's got RT as well. Lal Mustaan. Yeah.
Which,
okay.
You need to be careful, bro. You're in the trenches.
Yeah, I'm here, yeah. Yeah, so Ramadan shopping. What is your Ramadan shopping? You said you get the thing?
That's all I got. That's all I got. Yeah.
The sticker things, the brick things.
Yeah,
dates?
other than that,
dates?
I ordered dates from the SKT Welfare Date Project. Are you familiar with that? Am I going
I think you got it last year as well, so I remember that.
We get it, yeah. We've been getting it.
Are these like there's like boxes of 1 kilo of majdoul?
We should get paid for these feasts.
From Palestine.
Yeah, here we go.
You're sharing your screen. Here we go. Yeah. So the Date Project. What's the URL of this?
Thedateproject.org.
Thedateproject.org. Okay. Oh, it's got a fancy metal box.
Yeah, so they always have like some really cool looking boxes.
Buy online, free delivery. 2023 tins. Oh, they got like new tins every year.
I can't remember which one I went for. I went for one of these two. I think I got this one.
Okay.
But they're all from different. They all support different countries.
Ah, so the one on the left must be Turkey, isn't it?
Oh, possibly. Let me check. If you go to purchase one, it will show you. The only thing, yeah, it's like, oh, I like this design, but it's going to this particular country. Not that there's anything.
I like the design, but I don't like the country. Is that what you're trying to say?
No. That's not what I'm trying to say. But like, that's another thing. Like, it's difficult making those choices because, like, oh, which country?
Yes.
Do I donate to? I can't seem to. My links aren't working. I can't seem to click anything.
Okay. Okay. Dates for Yemen. Dates for Syria. Dates for Palestine. Oh, this is 10 quids only.
Oh yeah, and it's a full box. And
is this Majdoul or Ajwa?
I believe it's Majdoul. We'll check. But yeah, I think I do this all the time, every year, and it's primarily a Ramadan thing. I don't.
Is that a kilo?
I want to check. It is 1.3.
1.3 kilo. Okay, that's including the thing though, the tin, right?
Yeah, this is like that's like how thick the tin is, if you can see.
Yeah. Would that last you for the whole of Ramadan or no?
Yeah, it's quite a lot. Actually, it might not. It depends how much we have.
Are you a 1 or a 3 or a 5 dates kind of guy?
I'm usually quite a few. Although tends to be that we
more than 5, yeah.
Someone usually gets these for us. But yeah, there's always a story behind the tin as well, like who
Where the
designed
design
it.
came from or something.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just a cool little initiative, and been doing it here for a few years.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that.
It's now available in France as well.
There you go. The French, something good going on in France. A few things going in France, aren't there?
Yeah. I think I'm a 3-date kind of guy, you know.
Yeah.
Not too many, not too little. Yeah.
Wow. If someone just took that clip out of context, it'd be like a polygamy thing that you're talking about.
3 dates.
3 dates kind of guy.
I see. Didn't really come to mind for me.
For me, you know, dates and stuff. I don't know. That's just me. Right. Yeah.
What about coffee, bro? Do you? I don't even know how much coffee you drink.
I have 1 coffee in the morning, and that's it.
Oh, and that's it.
Simple.
Bro, the way you said that, your face was like, I'm a good boy. I have 1 a day in the morning, and that's it.
I just feel like by the time I'm like, I have it more to wake myself up, not to really like.
Oh, really? Okay. So you don't enjoy it so much, Annie? No,
I probably would if I had like varieties and I was into that. But it's a hobby that I don't really want to get into. I don't know.
Don't blame me.
Yeah. Oh God. What about you? I hear it's a big deal.
I'm on the vibe like what Faisal said actually in the episode, which is I do 2 a day, right?
Yeah.
And I just move the times around. So I have 1 like a bit after iftar, and a 1 with suhoor, and I'm good.
Cool.
I find that have suhoor like I have breakfast. I have the same thing as I would have breakfast, and I have coffee with breakfast usually. So I have that, and then it's like whatever 6 a.m. and I'm like ready for work day, innit? So then I go with my full of, you know, breakfast and coffee and all that. I'm ready to work for a good hours, you know, good amount of hours.
Yeah.
So I just shift the time a little bit compared to a non-Ramadan day, you know.
Yeah.
And that been doing that like whatever 3, 4, 5 years now, and no reason to move it really. It's pretty good. The only killer of it, or the thing, the Achilles heel of this routine, is if you don't force yourself to sleep in the morning on time, right? Because then you're going to reach a point where it's like, oh, it's only half an hour till dhuhr, and you're like feeling like tired, but then you're like, oh, but dhuhr, and then that can mess you up. Either you go to sleep, then you miss dhuhr like on time or whatever, or you just push through it, but then you're like kind of really exhausted and blah blah blah. So I've kind of flopped with that in the past, but I
suppose if you're kind of like you haven't got a routine that's set for you, and you're a bit more in control of when you get up and stuff,
this is a big deal, bro. This is a big deal.
If you're working 9 to 5, then you're getting up regardless. But if you're
so
Lucy,
let me think. If you what time is Fajr for you these days, Yanni?
It's going to be like late 4 o'clock, early 5 o'clock, depending where you are.
What about when the clocks change?
4:30 at the moment. Yeah, it's 4:30 at the moment.
So it'll be 5:30, Yanni?
Are they going forwards or backwards? I can't remember.
I think forwards. Yeah, definitely forwards. Yeah. So 5:30. 5:30. So you're going to wake up, let's say, at 5.
Yeah,
that's a tough one, bro.
Wait, it goes 5. Yeah, it goes all the way to, when is it? Oh, it's in a few days. Yeah, so it goes 4:19, and the next day it's 5:16.
Yeah,
not a huge difference to me, but.
So what does that mean, bro? I mean, I guess, you know, when Ramadan was more in the summer, Taraweeh would finish sometimes after midnight, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's not the case anymore. So you can kind of get to bed at a decent time to wake up for suhoor/work, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's just not what, you know, going into what we're going into. It's not like a, I don't have this thing about going too much too quickly. Do you understand what I mean? Like,
no.
Staying for okay, going to Taraweeh for the whole thing, first day, doing everything 150% all day, every time. Okay. I appreciate people who do that, but what I've learned is when I do that, I burn out really quickly.
By day 11, basically, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Like, and then you spend 10 days recovering, and then you do the last 10. That's, I think, a common pattern, right?
Yeah, so like I try and just like go with it. You know, if I go 150% on day one, I've got no more to increase on the last 10 days. So what I end up doing is actually probably regressing, and by then I'm already.
Then you feel like a
understand?
flop in it, even though you're not flopping,
Yeah.
Annie. But yeah,
If I
well,
like steadily increase throughout, the one thing that I will try my best to do is Quran reading, because I can, you know, whenever I have a time, I would just sit and read Quran. Do you understand? But in terms of actual like
with
leaving the
this
house,
episode sponsor,
they're not sponsoring us, bro. Don't
Yeah.
say silly things.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, certainly.
The only problem
especially-
with that, bro, is, and this I've got an issue with this year, right? Which is the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. I mean, I shouldn't say the problem is this hadith, no, but
No.
the what's the word? The catch-22, whatever that you have.
Okay.
The Prophet ﷺ said, "Whoever stands in prayer with the Imam until he finishes, Allah will record for him the reward of spending a night in prayer." Yes. So this is how you can basically pray the whole night for every night of Ramadan.
Yeah, if you're able to, of course.
No, but
that's why I said.
if you just pray with the Imam till he finishes, you know, like,
Of course.
yeah.
But, you know, if you're able to, and you're not, this is the thing. It's about, sometimes, you know, you see those hadith all the time. Oh, not hadith, sorry, the Q&As from shuyukh, where it's like, someone will ask, "Oh, I stayed up all night watching lectures, but I missed Fajr." What's the ruling on that?
Slap yourself. That's the ruling.
You see what I mean? Like, what can end up happening is, honestly, like, I might stay up doing the Sunnah stuff and miss Fajr, or mess up
for sure,
other things.
For sure.
Or, you know, my sleep pattern will be so mashed up that whole day I'm useless during the day.
Yeah,
because I stayed up too late. I stayed up
and then
till
your
Fajr.
mum's like asking for help, and you're like, "No, I can't do it." And that's a flop. Yeah.
Yeah, no, lots of stuff like that. No, that's what happens. So I'm useless to my family if I do too much.
Yeah.
So I need to have this balance. You know, I need to be able to work and not like, because what could happen is, like, I force myself to go to work, and then as soon as I'm done with work, I just come and crash on the sofa, and then I get up for Maghrib, and then I'm out all night again, and then just doing that every day. And then I've disappeared. I haven't been with my family. I haven't served them. I haven't helped them. Things don't get done. I slack on lots of matters, and it's about the balance.
I mean, it depends how bad it goes, but I do feel like if there's any month to just be missing, it's Ramadan as well at the same time.
Yeah.
But of course, it depends how much you're slacking, Annie. Like,
Yeah.
like if it's, you know, there are certain minimums that need to be there. Yeah.
I think everybody knows themselves ultimately, you know, and I've learned that more and more recently. It's like everybody knows themselves, and what works for one person is going to work for someone else, and everybody knows where their strengths and weaknesses are and what they can do to improve, right? It's there's so much out there in terms of advice, and, you know, us giving advice or advice being given to us, but there's no advice like the person assessing their own situation and just doing what they know needs to be done. And that, you know, through how many years of Ramadan, alhamdulillah, that we've been blessed with, I know, especially in this time of my life, it's going to be a difficult one, because not a difficult one. It'll be difficult to keep up like I did when I was, I don't know, 18, 19, right?
Don't be talking about these old man stories now, bro.
Bro, we are old men's.
No.
Old man's is.
No.
Bro,
Not planning
listen,
on it.
I am telling you.
Not
now,
in my plan.
The kids are hard work, alhamdulillah.
Yes.
Yeah, like non-stop wrestling and fighting constantly.
MashaAllah,
right? And it's in their blood. Like, they can't, you know. My wife and I were like, "What are we going to do about this?" And then I realized I can't really do much about this. This is in their blood.
Buy them an octagon.
In nature. I wish I could. Especially now that, you know, Ilyas is like, he's over 3 now, so he can fight,
hold his own,
hold his own a bit. So it's getting there.
Did you have Khalil this time last year or no?
No, we only had Khalil in November.
Yeah. My second son was born in last Ramadan. So
Allah barik. There you go. Allah barik.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, Khalil just watches them and wants to get involved. He's like,
sick.
Bro, he watches us. Now he's like, you know, a bit more active. He's making noises and stuff, and he's smiling and laughing and stuff. So he just wants to. He sees them, like, yeah, you can just tell he's hungry to get involved. So we're gonna get some holes in the wall. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, there's your deposit gone.
Yeah, man. But like, I'm conscious, man. I am really conscious of the missing out on this. I told my wife earlier, like, I looked at my son. I realized who he is now, I'm never going to see again. Allahu Alam if I get to see him like that in Jannah, because in Jannah he's going to have his Jannah. You understand what I mean? He's going to be, whatever age he wants to be and have the life he wants to live. So then you realize, actually, this could be really precious. Not that in Jannah I'm going to be longing for something that I can't have. Obviously, in Jannah we're going to have everything we want and we're going to be content with everything we want. But when you think about it, it's like, oh, this is it. Like, this is the only time he's going to be a kid. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's a very fleeting moment. So I want to instill the love of Ramadan in him. I want to instill a feeling of this is a special time of the month. This is a special, but he's still too young to take Taraweeh with me, which goes back to what I was saying about.
Wait, who are you talking about now? Khalil?
Kids in general.
Okay,
all three of them in general.
Yeah.
Do you understand? All three of them in general. Like, I can't take Suleiman to Taraweeh. I took them recently, both of them. Maybe, but he's just...
This kind of pointless, Yani.
5 and 3 years old, they're not going to pray Taraweeh, bro. If anything, it's going to distract people. And there's not enough room in the masjid for them to be running around. They're just going to end up... and then your khushu is out the window because you're worried about them running out of the masjid.
You're just praying and you're like thinking, why is he swinging from that light?
Yeah, bro. I've been trying to take them to the masjid more and more. I took them together recently. And, I was just like, whatever you do not run out of this door. Like, this door, you don't run out of here. And you can't help but, like, worry when you're praying. And they're the only kids in the masjid. So they're like, fighting and wrestling and stuff. But then the older one is trying to tell the younger one not to do something. And you're like, oh, my God, what is he doing? What is he going to do? Little things like that.
Well, the Prophet ﷺ said, tie it and trust in Allah.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm a weak man, bro.
I'm saying... Obviously. You have to take the camel analogy and apply it to your kids.
You can imagine, man. I'm a scarred individual. I've dealt with lots of missing children and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just can't. I've got this thing in my mind where I have to try and memorize exactly what they're wearing, just in case I have to make a report. And, or try and take a photo of them.
That's a good tip.
Out. Honestly, 100%. That's advice to any parent. Take a photo of what they're wearing before they go out. Because if they go lost at any point and you have to call, the police or whatever to look for your kids, which happens all the time, by the way, most of the kids just found straight away, aren't they? So, they might just run around the corner or hiding behind something. Happened to me the other day. I was playing hide and seek with Suleiman in the park. Bro, he actually hid. Not just
couldn't find him. Yeah.
I actually couldn't find him for an extended period of time. And usually he gets bored and comes back. He didn't. He was very...
How did you react when you found him?
I was very impressed. I patted him on the back and I was like, well done. I knew where he was. When he told me where he was, I was like, oh, yeah, of course. I didn't think to check that. But yeah, immediately I was like, oh my God, wait a second. Wait, whoa. What's going on? What was he wearing again? Oh, yeah, that's it. So yeah, no. So yeah, when you've got that kind of, thing going on in your mind, it's easy to be a bit of a helicopter parent. I'm trying to be better than that. I'm trying to step back more. But you can't help it. And you're going to get there, bro. Don't you worry. You'll get there, inshallah. Especially in a foreign country where you can't speak the language. Crikey. Don't know how you do that. I'd be all over them.
I'm learning, bro. It's an emergency. It's an emergency to learn. Can't even call 999 or whatever.
But that goes back.
Ben Biraz, Turce, Conosciuro.
It goes back to what we were saying, though, about what we thought Ramadan was, when we were younger. And
so in 5 years, who knows what we're going to think about ourselves?
Yeah, inshallah, we'll see. But I'm trying to make them feel like it's something special, like something different, a different kind of month, something where,
That's one thing my son has this time is he's older, of course.
Self-awareness.
My wife put all the months of the year on the wall and he learned them all. And then it's this whole thing of what do we do in Ramadan? Oh yeah, we fast. What are you doing? Dhul Hijjah and stuff. So yeah, this is probably the first Ramadan where we can make it something significant, something that stands out to him, Yani.
Oh, yeah, that's it. We should do a private Mind Heist episode with my son and your son.
Live stream.
And
they could talk about how they defeated Shaitan.
Exactly. They can share some nasiha to each other. From one Sulaiman to another.
Yeah. That sounds
good.
We
can show it to them when they're older. He loves stuff like that. He's got videos on this computer where he's just sat here on the mic where I've left it on and he's just recorded some stuff. He's like, I want to do a podcast.
Where's he get it from?
Oh, I wonder.
One thing I ordered for this Ramadan as well is it's in the delivery now. Is electrolytes.
Oh, I got some of those.
Have you taken those before in like Ramadan?
Not for Ramadan. I got them when I was doing a water fast once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know like what to look for in a good electrolyte solution?
No, I could.
Because I didn't know, and I just got something. I was like, it's kind of half an experiment and half like, yeah, it might help. Because between that like Asr and Maghrib kind of time, sometimes you're just a bit low energy. And what I understand is that's not from lack of food. Like you don't need food much. It's just because of dehydration or lack of electrolytes. So let's see. Let's try it.
No, you know what? Now that you mention it, I actually think I ordered this pack last year in Ramadan or just before Ramadan. And yeah, I remember now that you mention it, a really noticeable difference.
Really?
I wasn't getting headaches at all. Like I thought I'd be getting headaches because the first 3 days I usually get headaches for not having any water, and then I'm all right. But yeah, I was having this in suhoor and did wonders for me, bro. So yeah, I recommend it.
I'll update you when I try it out.
Please do.
I always find flavor without. I didn't really like look at the flavor. Right. I just like picked anything. So yeah. I don't know about that flavor, but
one thing I was going to ask you actually is I was listening to like that episode yesterday. Faisal and Kaya's episode, and in the same way that we're doing, obviously we're doing the same thing. But I was thinking to myself when I was listening to it, this is so weird. Like, look how much planning and prepping and like lifestyle tweaking and all this kind of stuff we're doing, and like that wasn't really what it was about, back in the day. Like that wasn't really part of it. So I'm just thinking, like, do people get distracted? Do we get distracted a lot by like these little measures that we take? Like, I'm gonna take these pills. I'm gonna time my suhoor at this time. I'm gonna like. There's a bit of like a I don't know the best way to call it, but like the
the whole culture.
Yeah, that kind of life hack culture and the health and fitness and all that stuff has just seeped its way into the average man in his endeavors.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm sure if I went on Instagram, in these days and during Ramadan, it would very much turn into that. I can see that, but I don't feel like I do much different. Like I eat the same, whatever I eat now for breakfast, I just shift that to suhoor.
Yeah.
And, instead of I break my fast. Okay, I have soup, but then other than soup, and dates, and then I just have normal dinner. Yeah.
I just feel like they're very first world problems and first world things that we talk about when it comes to
I mean, it is though.
Yeah.
It is. It's like, but you know what it is, bro? Maybe the reason is if you don't do this stuff, especially if you have 9 to 5, you're going to flop. Isn't it? Like, wouldn't you struggle like a lot? If your sleep is messed up, you went to Taraweeh and you finished late and then this and then suhoor is this and it's like, it's 2 p.m. and you're at work and you're like, damn, I need to finish now. Like, I need to leave now. I can imagine that would happen, Yani.
No, I can. Yeah, I suppose. I appreciate the efficiency of trying to optimize your life, especially during Ramadan. Yeah. But I think micromanagement for me is also quite. I have an aversion to it. I'm trying to implement it more, but I've always had an aversion to it. Like even like reading something like Atomic Habits, like I started it and I couldn't finish it because I didn't believe that I could stick to, a routine without being. I think as soon as I need to be flexible, then my routine's gone. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
As soon as something comes up and I need to be flexible now, well, something's always going to come up. Everyday things come up, and it will, ruin my plan. So there's no point in me being so rigid. I just need to be flexible and optimize on the go, as opposed to doing all this planning and it's all going to go out the window because it doesn't take into account all the.
I feel surprises. Like what we've discussed so far is big picture stuff, general principle stuff, rather than
maybe
mini. Yeah. So okay, the electrolyte thing is a bit of a different one. Yes, it's a bit more micro. I would agree. Yeah.
It might be because I'm reacting off of like content that I've seen. When there's Ramadan coming up, you see a lot of like Ramadan content from a lot of these Muslim fitness gurus and stuff. And I don't know if it's because of the influx of content. I feel I'm being advised to micromanage. Like this guy's saying, do this and this and this, and this guy's saying, oh yeah, and do this and this and this. And this guy's saying, oh, buy my plan because I'm going to show you the best way to optimize your. And I'm thinking like, maybe I feel like the democratization of information means that all this information goes out there and everybody feels like the information they're seeing is for them and needs to be for them when actually it probably isn't. You know, that kind of specific fitness stuff is probably for someone who is bodybuilding, but like everybody who goes to the gym thinks they're bodybuilding or go like, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
It's that advice for like the top 10% of most interested or advanced people in that thing. Yeah, I see.
Yeah. And because there's obviously a drive to increase engagement, increase consumer base and stuff, you start those content creators start expanding a bit more, so that the pool of people
it's a chance to grab extra attention they wouldn't usually get.
The blue ocean strategy, exactly. So the average gym goer who's going to, like the average Muslim brother that's going to the gym, I know for a fact that the people they're probably watching to inspire and teach them are like bodybuilders. So then there's somewhere in their mind they're subconsciously going towards that. Even though they're not really like about it, they're not really going towards that. Do you understand?
Although, like, I agree with 100%. But I just wanted to ask you, you know, like the average guy that goes to the gym, aren't there just two intentions for going to the gym? If we just take the broad, you know, most people, it's either lose weight or pretty much become bulky, like gain muscle.
There's a third.
There is a third, but I feel like that's like 5% of people.
No, do you know what though? I feel like more people fit into the third, but don't realize that that's what they're doing. The third is like general fitness, just general being healthy.
Yeah,
general.
That's what my intention is, but yeah,
and I feel like that is where I am realistically. That is where I should be putting my energy with that intention.
Yeah.
Like realistically, do I think I'm ever going to achieve the physique of like these bodybuilders that are out there? Probably not, because it's going to take so much meticulous dedication,
time, effort, and optimization.
They look like that, and they build towards that because that's their job, you know. But everybody
or it could
else,
be like a big passion of theirs. Either one of them.
100%. But I'm talking about the
job
people that
or
like
passion.
Personal trainers / they've got an online business where they are providing this kind of information, resources, etc. So I think what happens is we place our energy in a lot of places that aren't really where we're aiming to be. It's like, oh yeah, it would be nice if I looked like that. Well, would be nice isn't good enough for you to follow such a strict thing if you're not actually aiming to be there. Because what you're doing then is just kind of wasting time when you've got other goals and other things you should be working towards.
Yes,
like you
absolutely.
need to manage your own expectations and be aware of where you're heading. Because you can spread yourself too thinly and suddenly you can't do anything effectively because you're like, oh, I need to follow this diet plan really strict. That diet plan was made for like a bodybuilder. I need to follow this fitness. It was made for, unless you're seriously trying to do that, you know, because there's one thing, bodybuilding is one thing, but like just being generally fit and healthy and able to, you know,
live 3 kids,
whatever. Yeah. That's a different thing. Right. And then that's different to like, I don't know, like an MMA fighter or someone who's sparring. That's different. You know, that's
and even the diet and then how you know, the type of micros and macros you must take.
But somebody who's, okay, think about like someone who's mixed martial arts and doing that kind of thing or that kind of content or advising and teaching that. They'll talk maybe about nutrition and fitness, but they won't be talking about it in the same way that a bodybuilder will be. They won't be like, oh, you need to have this many calories, and this is your cutting phase, this is your bulking phase, and this is, do you know what I'm trying to say? And these are the supplements you need. No.
MMA might talk about like recovery, for example, right?
Yeah, but the bulk of their stuff is probably going to be on technique, probably going to be on the actual MMA aspect.
Sure, yes.
Right?
Yes.
But just make sure that you've got stamina, and this is how you can build stamina, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like the micromanaging of all these like little things sometimes, I think because the content is so widely available. Because
I remember when I was going to the gym and like, I guess pretty much doing bodybuilding or like attempting that, right? It's a lot of information that I know nothing about, and therefore I can easily be duped.
Yeah.
And there's no way of knowing whether that's advice for a beginner or intermediate or an advanced person. And most of the time, actually, what probably happens is, this happens in everything, by the way. If you look at a photographer, a bodybuilder, whatever, is the people that talk about it the most are the advanced people. And the advanced people are very passionate. And they will therefore be passionate about the advanced techniques, and they will talk about the advanced stuff to who? To the layman, to the average people, not to the advanced people. And that's like a lot of what we'll find. Like, I was watching a few like photography kind of videos, or videographer kind of videos, and this, it's all gibberish to me, right? And they're so passionate about it. But I was watching it and I was saying, I bet none of this really matters in the end. Like, if you don't do all this stuff that they're talking about, you'll get 80% of the way there, Yanni. Yeah. So that's what happens when you're passionate, Yanni.
Yeah. I mean, some would argue, you know, it's manageable and this and that. Some would argue, you know, if you prep your meals and you put the time in. Well, if you're going to start doing all of that,
but you should have been doing that in your daily life already, you know, like, you know.
Well, look, there's a way of doing it. Like, look, to achieve the goals that those people have, to achieve the goals that those teachers and mentors and, you know, personal trainers have achieved. You need to be meticulous. You know, you need to really be counting your calories. You need to know your macronutrients. It's not just calorie counting. You need to know how much protein you've got, how many carbs you've got, fiber, whatever. Okay. And you need to be, you know, strict with your, most of the time at least, with, you know, what you're putting in your body. Okay.
And you also need to do it for longer than a month.
Exactly. And it needs to be maintained over the course of years to get a physique like that.
Yes.
So if you're not prepared to do that, and that isn't really realistically what you're going to achieve, then why do some of that, which only works if you're if you're going to do the whole thing? There's no point taking 10% of that, which only works if you do the full thing. You might as well just focus on fitness. Lift weights, of course, but obviously, you know, everybody goes to the gym is going to lift weights. Lift weights, do your cardio, eat well, the general fitness stuff. But unless you're going to go down the road, then be serious about the whole thing. And that's just my perspective. Because you can guilt trip yourself and thinking, oh, you know what, like, oh, I fell off again, or I did this again, whatever. And you just ruin yourself, and you just go down a big, dark, depressing hole of binge eating and stuff.
While you scroll Instagram looking at all the great physiques.
No, 100%. And that's the thing. Another thing, like social media, you said Instagram, once you've liked one bit of that content, that's all it's going to throw at you. Suddenly, you're just going to keep seeing those things, keep feeling a particular way about yourself, and your focus always shifts. And this is like the ADHD phenomenon. I was listening to Thinking Muslim yesterday as well.
About psychology.
Yes, and he was talking about how like there's a rise of ADHD diagnoses, especially self-diagnosed ones.
Overdiagnosis, as well.
Overdiagnosis. But that to me is like a testament to this constantly, the context switches of social media. Because the moment you're, you know, the rapid context switch, like how much different content you can consume, and then you like one thing, and then you start seeing loads of that. Suddenly
you become hyper aware of that. Thing.
Look, go on Instagram now, and you'll be like, okay, let's see what's going on. Let's just mute it. Bring up the reels. Okay, what have we got? Here you go. Straight video. First, someone running a 10K marathon, and then it's Mecca, and then it's another reminder, Islamic reminder.
Oh, you got to do Umrah and Ramadan, and then run 10K marathon. Okay, what else do you have to do?
And then we've got artificial intelligence, how to grow your social media. Okay, I want to focus on that now. Okay. Oh, someone's doing some calligraphy. Oh, I'd really like to do that.
But that's why you got to have your own life with your own plan, isn't it?
Yeah, but then you've got like, you click a nice little video of like a scenery or something. Oh, now I want to travel. Oh, really cool photography. Oh, you know what? Actually, I really want to get into photography. Like, it's throwing you stuff.
Stop constantly. Me now. Stop it.
But it's the reality, isn't it? Because before, you'd have to go and seek out those things. Do you understand? Like, back in the day,
like, it drives me nuts because I don't use that.
I'm sure.
You know?
A lot of people are glued to the scroll. Back in the day, bro, you used to have one hobby, or especially online or on the internet or using computers. You'd have one thing, and that's kind of would keep you, you know, engaged for a long period of time, unless you went and literally searched how to do something else. But now the content gets thrown at you. You've got no choice in what you see. So you are constantly like being forced to engage in new interests and new hobbies, and that's part of it. You know, how many things do we pick up and stop? I've gone from graphic design to video. No, I went from video editing to graphic design to coding to God knows in the space of a few years. Whilst 10, 15 years ago, maybe when I was like 13 to 18, all I was doing was video editing. That's all I did, because that's all I knew what to do. You probably
got good at it in that time as well.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. But I don't know how we got from there to here. But
but basically, Ramadan, you need to, if you're going to optimize for anything, the thing which is the coolest thing to really micromanage, if you like, is your ibadah and your time for your ibadah, meaning the listed ibadas, like the things that Allah specifically mentions in the Quran, especially reading Quran, praying, night prayer, etc. It's worth having a routine that allows for that as much as possible.
Yeah, 100%.
Isn't it? Yeah, so I was saying that the issue I have this year is that the masjid or the imam that I wanted to pray with, last year what he did was, he was doing like one juz a day, but what he found was all the people were coming to pray with him and they bring their kids, and the kids are causing catastrophes in the back of the masjid, shouting and this and that, and he was even losing focus and this and that.
Yeah.
So I think to kind of get around that issue, because he's like surrendered, he's like, they're probably going to do that again. So what he's done is, he's like, we're going to do Isha, then we're going to pray 20 rak'ah, like on a quicker vibe. And then after that, we can get everyone with the kids and stuff out of the way. And then we're going to do 8 rak'ah, a full juz. Okay.
Right.
So I don't think I'm intending to do 28 rak'ahs. Okay. Yeah. So therefore, I'm going to I still need to go and see what it's going to be like, but am I going to pray Isha and leave and then come back for the 8 rak'ah? Because I would like to do that whole juz thing. But then I don't get that reward for praying the whole night, Yani. But the only way with this imam to get the whole night is to do 28 rak'ahs Taraweeh with him. So this is my problem, basically.
Interesting. Maybe you should try what I'm doing sometimes. Pray with your family.
Pray with my family. But I won't pray as much like that.
Could do. What's stopping you from doing 20 rak'ah?
I just won't.
And then you can cancel the commute time, because you don't have to make your way there, don't have to make your way back.
5-minute commute if it's a commute.
Well, mine's like 15 minutes.
I'm not against. I actually, like you said, I enjoyed that time when I was praying at home, Taraweeh. But what really got in the way is the kids, young kids especially. Like my second son, he's the age where he doesn't just go to bed at night and stay for the whole night sleeping, So that would probably get in the way. And last year, I remember Taraweeh was long, bro. It was long. And I remember thinking, this is hard. I kind of actually want to go home, like at certain points,
Yeah.
And I would never have stuck through it if I was at home, like with my, just with the family or on my own or whatever, Yeah. It's the fact that you're in a separate location and all of that. It pushes you. And so I want that push, Yani. And I'm not talking about like, I'm like on the halfway through, I'm like, my mind's wandering. If you're like that, then yeah, like by all means, finish up, go home, maybe take a rest and finish yourself or whatever. But if you can like do it, like, and I was gonna mention this actually, is like pushing yourself is necessary, Yani, in Ramadan. And if you have the opportunity for Taraweeh to push you, then you should take it, just the fact that you're in that environment, Yani.
Yeah, I suppose this is why it's so vital to have that constant engagement in night prayer throughout the year, isn't it? So it's not like just ripping off a band-aid on day one, and like just having to like get submerged into all this worship that you're not really used to,
The thing is, when I was praying at home with the family, when there was no Taraweeh and stuff, I was reading from the Mus'haf, like you said, and that's easy. Like, I'm focused. I'm not going to daydream like that.
Well, this is it. I felt like that. It was like that for me when I was reading.
Yeah, because
when I'm doing it at home, exactly.
You're stimulated, basically.
stimulated. I'm thinking about what I'm reading, etc. But when you're, obviously, I'm sure all of us, we're all guilty of it. Your khushu' is really hard to like grip if you're not. It's much better now the more I've understood Arabic, like the Quran and stuff. But I remember when I was years ago, bro, it was difficult because I didn't have the knowledge, I suppose. Goes back to what you were saying not earlier, but the clip we recently put out on even a basic bit of knowledge goes a long way in sort of keeping you away from haram and stuff, but also giving you more blessings in the long run. That little bit of knowledge that you learn about the Arabic language, for example, goes a long way in your khushu', which then ideally goes a long way in getting you more good deeds in terms of your prayer. So yeah, it's vital. It's absolutely vital. I suppose it's really good for people to read along. So like, make sure that their reading matches when the imam is. So for example, the imam is going to cover XYZ just this day, then you try and read beforehand.
Does that work, by the way? Because I always imagined that if I was reading the English, and let's assume I know a few words of the Arabic, and I can match it. That's how it's supposed to work, but I always imagined that would actually be just too hard and like...
It would take longer, but especially, no,
like you wouldn't actually be able to hear the recitation in Taraweeh.
Oh, you're talking about doing it at the same time?
No, not at the same time. Just like I'm reading English at home in the day, let's say, and then I go to Taraweeh and he's reading that same juz that I was reading in English. Right. Would you actually link it? Like, would you actually be like, oh yeah, that's that bit that I read today?
Possibly, only because you might have thought about it already, and all that's going to do is trigger the same thoughts that you were thinking about. Okay. So like I might be reading about, I don't know, in Surah Al-Kahf, reading about, the people of the cave, the people of the cave, and what that trial, what they went through, and just how fascinating it must be as a feeling as well. Like imagine being put to sleep for that long, and then waking up and all those years have passed, and not feeling like those years have passed. Like imagine that literally happened to you. Like you wake up and like you're in a completely different environment, but it's kind of the same. It's somewhat similar, but not at the same time, and that feeling of deja vu and subhanAllah. And then as soon as you hear Surah Al-Kahf again being recited in the Taraweeh, straight away you're rethinking about that. So, but that comes with generally familiarizing yourself with the Quran. If you're able to think and ponder over the Quran regularly, all the surahs,
if you read cover to cover a few times during the year, you become more familiar with it, and then like, okay, Surah, I don't know, Al-Ma'idah is about this general topics, and etc.
Yeah, I think in general, it just goes to show, because I think always you get to this point just before Ramadan, and you're thinking, I could have prepared more. Do you know what I mean? Like I said I would, I could have prepared more. And then, it's snuck up on us really quickly. At least I felt like it has, Ramadan. I remember when somebody posted, it's 60 days away. And I was like, huh? Already? SubhanAllah. And then before you know it, it's here. So time is a ticking.
Is the first fast going to be on Thursday, most likely? Is that the...
I don't know.
Situation?
What is it today? Yeah,
because
I think so.
In Turkey, they do it by calculation. So they already decided the first fast is Thursday.
Oh, so you can kind of plan ahead.
No, but I don't know what I'm going to go with. Like, let's say the sighting and the calculation are not the same.
Don't do this to me.
What?
You're gonna bring the politics in. I don't know, bro.
Politics?
There's a lot of politics, moon sign politics.
I mean, I'm just talking on a personal level. Like, I live in Turkey. I'm not inclined to that whole calculation thing. Not that I know too much about it. I wouldn't normally go for that. Okay. So do I just follow what they're doing here? Or assuming that the sighting is different from the calculation, or, do I, split away and fast on Wednesday if that's the first day?
Find out what the Zair is doing,
Yeah.
Say, Akhu, ايش قدر? And ask him, and then have a little pact, a little Algerian pact. Little no-fly zone, Algerians only.
No fly.
I watched the video earlier of some Algerian travel vlogger, proper Ziri.
There's a big one.
Oh, maybe it was him.
What's his name? India? There's a huge one, huge travel vlogger.
Someone put it on Twitter. He was in India.
Okay.
Was that it? Is it him?
No, he's been
maybe?
all over the world, this guy. I don't
Okay.
remember his name.
This was it was a TikTok video that was shared on Twitter, and I was
Right.
laughing so much. It was so funny because he's speaking to people in Algerian, like,
Oh, really? That's funny. That's
and they're like, they don't know what he's saying.
Yeah,
he doesn't
yeah,
really say it. It's just, I loved it because it's like a bit of a fish out of water. Because a lot of travel vlogs and stuff, usually like, I don't know, Europeans or Americans or whatever.
Exactly.
So to see, people from our neck of the woods,
Yes,
traveling the world is really interesting. Really, really interesting.
Let me try and find this guy. It's not coming up straight away. There is a guy, bro, that my dad told me about this guy because my dad like discovered him.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it flipping blurred out? Sign up to see the full list. Shut your mouth.
You're angry, aren't you? You're an angry guy lately.
There's a guy called Jason Billam Travel who's
I know him.
in Tipaza apparently. My first impressions of Algeria. Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
I watched that. He went
You
to
watched
us as
that,
well,
yeah?
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
You always got to see in your country what they say.
Yeah, they love it, bro. Definitely. I haven't even seen it and they love it. No, there was that Algerian sorry, not Algerian, Irish guy. He went to every country in the world, okay?
Yeah. I'm
You remember his name? It's probably Patrick or something. Most common Irish name.
If I saw him, I'd probably recognize him, yeah.
El Mohim, yeah, this was a while ago, maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago. He had gone through to every country now, yeah? And then he basically said his favorite country. Like he actually said like, his favorite country. I think he said Philippines was number 1 and Algeria was like 2 or 3.
Wow, he really liked Algeria, huh?
Yeah, and he was just saying he went to Algeria in Ramadan as well, so I guess that was like part of it. And he said the generosity is next level and etc. etc.
You know what? I agree. Like, not that it's my favorite country, but I was, I had a really, really nice time in Zaire, and I felt really welcomed, and I felt at home, and yeah, just didn't know what to expect initially because I grew up. Now I know why I grew up with the things I did, with the kind of stereotypes I did, because I was looking. A video came up on my YouTube the other day of like I must have been 5 or something like that.
Okay.
During that time, there were like these conflicts going on in Zaire between some militia groups and the government and all this stuff. Yeah, I didn't know. So I was hearing stuff about Zaire during that time of my life, which then shaped my entire understanding of the country forever, So when I grew up, even though that stuff had died down, alhamdulillah, as far as I can tell, it shaped my understanding. It's like, and I know this is a bad example, but it's like, I don't know, watching a news clip of Somali pirates, okay, when you're a kid, and then not hearing anything about Somalia for the rest of your life, and just associating it with Somali pirates, when actually, you've seen the videos now, people going there and traveling and showing all sorts of amazing sort of sites and people and the culture and everything. So yeah, it's a classic stereotype, but it's interesting because those stereotypes have impact on children, as it did with me.
Yeah,
when I was there, it was amazing. Lovely country.
The Civil War was approximately 1988 to 2001 or something, 2002ish.
Exactly. That's exactly when I was there. I was in Tunisia.
It was about it was like, well, that's not 10 years, that's more than that, but it was about 10 years. I think the actual war started more like 1990, not 88, but it was triggered like in 88 because that's when I think the elections happened then, and then after they didn't like the outcome of the election, so they had to cause an issue basically.
There you go. What can you do?
So I'm trying to find this guy, bro. I don't know, can't find him, but he's a big guy, like a lot of subscribers and everything, fully Algerian. I think he might speak English, otherwise maybe he wouldn't have such a big... No, maybe he speaks in Arabic. Maybe just speaks Arabic. So all his audience are like Arabic speakers.
We'll invite him on the podcast, bro. Just get him involved.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure his name, but... Yeah, so that is... How did we get to that topic from Ramadan? I don't know. Doesn't even matter. Yeah, so this is Ramadan, bro. Like, I think every year, what I want to do this year is take stock of what I actually did last year. Try and remember and write it down, and then always make every Ramadan a bit better than the last, innit? I think that's very important, because then before you know it, you'll be 67 and you'll have like your normal Ramadan will be a next level Ramadan. You'll be like, what? Finish the Quran 5 times only? What?
Yeah. I get that, and I appreciate that, and I've always tried to do that, and I just feel like I burn out. I think I just want to be.
Well, that's because
realistic
you're
and
setting the
consistent.
standard too high.
Maybe.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, read half the Quran, and the next year read a juz on top of that, and then the year after that, one juz on top of that.
Like I said, was it last year or the year before? I don't know. It's all blurring now. Quran came through, bro. Quran came through and just
And it made a big difference. Yeah,
made a huge difference, and that's why I'm such a huge fan. Because I remember messaging Isa and telling him, like, I don't even think I'd managed to complete the Quran prior to that, prior to Quran coming into my life. And that's why, like, I'm a huge fan. Obviously, I'm a believer in it because it worked with me.
Yeah.
He scratched the itch, and lots of things like that work with me now. I've got like I said, I've got a coding app called Mimo, which is the same thing. Well, not same thing, but same concept. Daily, bite-sized, and now I'm on like my 27th day of streak on it. Like yesterday I was at the gym at 10 o'clock. I've got a reminder that it hits at 10. So that usually, like, I'm getting ready for bed. Oh, let me do a bit. And I just stopped my workout just to do it because I knew I didn't want to break my streak.
Solid.
Do you understand what I mean?
How long's the streak, did he say?
I think it's like 27 days. It's very, it only takes a couple of minutes.
My wife's on some mad streak with Duolingo. I think it's like, it must be like 60 days or more or something.
Allah Barak. That's it.
That's for Turkish. Duolingo, actually, they announced a new plan, like a pricing plan, a new tier, which is integrated with the GPT-4.
Oh, bro.
And it's like, sorry to bring it up again, but it's like you can have, when you're learning a language, you have these role play conversations, like comment ça va, comment allez-vous, all of that, yeah?
Oui.
Yeah, all of that. And those are like fixed role plays. But every conversation or role play is unique,
Right, yeah.
And so it can go in a different direction based on how you answer, right?
Yeah.
So that's one feature of it. And another feature is like it can explain to you like why you got something wrong or something like that. So interesting. But yeah, these things are sick, like whether it's for language learning or Quran, etc. There's also, I was excited. Did you see Fajrli? He was, Asa is making this app called Fajrli, and he was raising money for it.
Isn't it Prayerly?
Maybe that's a different one. But he was making this app called Fajrli, which is going to be free, but he needed funding for it. So it was like a donation only kind of thing.
Let me see.
This was probably a couple months ago.
Oh, maybe he's changed the name.
Maybe. But he said it's not released yet.
Yeah, he's put me onto I don't know if I can talk about it, but he's put me onto like their developer side thing. So I get to preview some of their apps.
Yeah.
Before they
So they have multiple apps in the pipeline other than Quran Yani.
Yeah, like I'm on this other side of the consumer base, so I get to preview things that they're working on.
Okay. Yeah.
So
That's what I'm talking about, bro.
I've got something he's working on my phone.
It's about time, bro. Yeah, so this Fajrli thing, basically, it sounded like an app that I've been using for years, which is not made for Fajr, okay? It's just made as an alarm, normal alarm. Yeah. And it has the feature where you have to scan a barcode or you have to take a picture of a certain thing to turn the alarm off.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And the one I use is called Alarmy. I think it's called Alarmy. Let me just double check. Right. Yeah, Alarmy, yes. It's called Alarmy, and it has these features. So you could, like, you have to shake the phone, or you have to do a maths equation, or you have to do squats, or you have to take a photo of a barcode to turn the alarm off. Yeah. And I always had this issue where if I slept late or anything and my alarm goes off, I would actually turn my alarm off without waking up even, right? Yeah. I would do that a lot if I'm tired enough, Yani. So this actually fixes that because I will always get up no matter what now because of this. I've been using this for now like 7-8 years. And there's a lot of things now that I could say, yeah, I've been doing that for 7-8 years. I never used to be able to say that before because I was always, a kid
Really?
7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, this app is sick. So when I saw he's doing that, and I thought, yeah, he's pretty much just taking that idea and he's branding it or framing it for a Muslim wake up for Fajr kind of thing. And I like you're saying about Quranly, this has changed my life, like this app. So I was really happy to see he seems to be making that.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. Alhamdulillah. I like it. Like I said, it's the new age, bro. It's the new age of Muslims actually taking advantage of the tools that we have available to us, and optimizing. Like I said earlier, even though I kind of said it in a negative way, optimizing our ability to. But it's good, man, because it gives them the rewards as well. That's why I love it so much. I just feel like I share it with someone. Inshallah, I get the same reward. The creators get the reward. The rewards are going everywhere, and it's just positive stuff.
Yeah,
right.
It's like
positive
it's almost obvious as well. Although a lot of good things are obvious later on. But for example, like Duolingo has been around for like 15 years. Okay, like a long time. And when you use Duolingo, you're like, this is sick. Like, of course, this is sick. The way that, of course. Yeah. But therefore, it's obvious that it would be good to use the same concepts or principles for ibadah. Right? It would be obvious, but no one did it until a couple of years ago, whatever. So, alhamdulillah, amazing.
You're getting me tempted to go on Duolingo. I think it'd really help if I learned French. Like, it would really help.
Really? Yeah?
I hate French.
Don't do it, bro.
But do you know how much it would help me?
Says the one who knows French. Don't do it, bro.
I just know, like, I go to Tunisia and I'll be really, like, capable.
But can't you just be like fully Arabic? In Tunisia.
I could be. I don't know what's quicker. Would it be quicker for me to learn? It's just a catch-22.
Bro, you know Arabic. What the hell?
No, I know Arabic, but like, why don't you give me a document in Arabic? I can read it all, but I'll probably only understand like 70% of it. I'll be like,
okay, well then just work on your Arabic,
it's all the word. Yeah, it's all like those
those official words and
official governmenty words that just lose me. Everything else I'm pretty good with.
Yes. الوثيقة الرئيسية الديمقراطية
الجمهورية.
Yeah.
I was just looking at it, like, especially, like, bro, like when I was there and I was going through all of my dad's paperwork, trying to find particular contracts and all this stuff. I was like, oh, Mum, I think this is it. This is the one we're looking for. I was like, oh, this one's in French. I'm not even going to bother. So yeah, man. No, man.
You remind me, I need to get Algerian passports for my kids. I'll understand. That's gonna be
bro. My wife's doing her Algerian one. I've got to do all of my kids' Tunisian one. Like, we're not ready to travel. We need to. I'm just. As your family gets bigger, bro, these little things, they just fall by the wayside. You just need to be on top of it.
Yes, and like, I took both of my sons to get a haircut the other day. Yeah, and I was like, it's the first time, Yanni, to take both of them, and I'm like, okay, so with one son it was X price, with two it's 2X, with three. It's not incremental; it's double and then triple.
And I said to Marty yesterday. I said, now I know why people say our kids are expensive. Because back then I didn't really understand why people would say that. Like, what? You gotta get nappies, and then what? Like, what, food? But now, like, eating like a horse. Both of them want to eat, like, constantly want to eat. Even though their metabolism is just, they're skinny boys, bro. They're like, they constantly want to eat. And it's not like I'm feeding him junk. Like, I'll give him porridge, bro. And he always wants more porridge.
Porridge should last you a while, right?
Yeah.
In theory.
And then I was looking at Khalil and I'm thinking, I said to my wife, how are we going to deal with these kids when they're all teenagers? Like, when they're all teenagers at the same time and they all want to do meal plans and, and they all want to train.
They'll be paying for it by then.
Well, I don't know, 15, maybe not.
Yes, they have to. Yes.
Yes. How? They can't even get a job at that age,
bro. They could go to boot camp, bro. They'd be coding all kinds of apps.
They're going to be on the front row.
Yeah, they'll be in the front row. I'll be getting them on this AI. I don't know what. Who knows what will be back there over then.
I've been on Mid Journey like all all of yesterday and today. I've got like 200 generated images.
I'm
tweeting
assuming you paying for that, right? Because I ran out of credits. Yeah, it's kind of.
And then I realized
how much.
I had an app.
$10.
It's like $10, and I had an epiphany today. Actually, I was speaking to a friend of mine. And I was like, "Oh my god! I just realized like this is the missing piece of the puzzle in my graphic design experience. Like illustrations was something I just could not do. Like I wasn't gonna learn how to draw. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know. So there was a lot of stuff that I would avoid doing because I wasn't part of that. And look, I get it, and I know people are angry, and I know artists are upset, and I know people are up in arms, and there's flame wars going on, whatever. But what I said to my friend, I said to him, "It's not going away. It's here now. You know, it's here. It's not going away. It's like I kind of see it akin to people who, well, maybe not so much. I was going to say like when steroids was available, like, but kind of in a roundabout way, but more so like, I don't know, robots putting people out of business, right? I get it. But really what it is at this stage, I think people that are getting out of business, it's not going anywhere. So you have to face the fact, but you have to capitalize on it by using these tools to assist you in whatever it is you're doing. You know, if you're a copywriter or whatever, then try and use ChatGPT.
You can write probably 10 sales pages in this time of doing 3 or
because I think in the next 10 years, the average person isn't going to be using this stuff. It's just the tech savvy people. Maybe an average. No, actually, it's rapidly growing. Okay, next 5 years.
Bro, they just rolled out all these mad features to like Google Workspace and
the problem.
Microsoft. And
that's what I wasn't anticipating.
So that means the average person will definitely be using,
that's what you're right
you know, this like text generation stuff, like write an email for me, write a CV for me. I guess they will be using that.
That is, So I
saw Khan Academy announced that they're going to start using it.
Yeah. I wasn't anticipating the implementation within, or the integration within tools that everybody uses anyway so rapidly.
I see, But yeah,
we're
right.
doing our 2023s.
Because no one's going to be going to Midjourney, but Midjourney will be inside of like Photoshop or whatever
already is. So
whatever the thing is.
I follow some stuff, and there was there's a Photoshop, you know, like an extension thing,
plugin,
integrated. What's it called? Stable Fusion.
Stable Fusion. I saw that
directly in there. So that's done. But then obviously Microsoft 365 has got it integrated now. Obviously Bing has got it. I'm
looking forward to the Google, because I use Google for most of my stuff. So Google Workspace is gonna be adding it everywhere.
Let's do this. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you all the crazies.
What, some of your Midjourney stuff?
God. Is this mine? Oh, I did the wrong tab. That's not the right tab. Here we go. Look at all these crazies.
I like some of your stuff, bro, that you send me. Like, wow. I like the style. Shall I share your screen?
Yeah, go for it. I haven't got anything. I haven't got anything private here. These are like, these are just so much, man. Obviously, I was experimenting with different styles, so I'm quite familiar with particular artists, and I then use their.
Is this
style.
Is this like a new release of Midjourney? Yeah, it's like a recent.
There was one, version 5, which I didn't realize. So
this is it. These are all made from that.
I think most of them are.
Go up, bro. Can you just open one of them full size? Yeah, here on the middle left, red.
This one?
No, above that one.
That one.
Yeah. I like the look of that. Okay.
Oh, they're a bit not.
Yeah, you need to upscale it, right, for it to be full.
No, this is upscale actually. This is version 5.
Okay.
But there's other ones that are a bit more. So here we go. You ever played Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen like the artwork for Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah. That's a proper geeky game.
Yeah, well, this is the kind of. So I used the artist behind it is Yogi Shinkawa.
Okay.
So I used his style.
Oh, I see that. I see.
Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were to see Metal Gear Solid, some of these are really cool. Like these were like trying.
Bro, the fact that you're using all this, like, I'm guessing in your prompt you're saying like Muslim this or Arabian this.
So
here
we go.
Right?
This one is like
a mosque.
Beautiful, majestic mosque, flowing cars, Studio Ghibli style. La Puta is the movie that I'm familiar with. That, you know, there's like a floating castle in the sky, and then Yoshiyuki Sadamoto, I think he's the artist who made the Evangelion series.
Okay, not familiar.
No,
but the thing I was saying, bro, is we don't see this. Like, we don't see, for for example, anime, of course, is Japanese, so you're not going to see Muslim symbols in it, right, or Islamic
Yeah, of
symbols.
course.
Same
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
even I was saying to my wife, a sick business would be stock footage, stock videos or whatever, with actual Muslims in. Because right now, if you look for that, you find these non-Muslims dressing up as Muslims, and it's all fake, right?
Yeah.
So let me just sort this out. Put that.
Oh yeah, I noticed that yesterday or the day before because I had to use some. We were editing a video here and
Yeah.
we had to use some stock footage of
Yeah.
Muslims. And I was slowly like thinking, this hijab is a bit weird. And it wasn't just like, oh, there's somebody, a Muslim wearing a hijab a bit differently.
Yeah.
This was like, I've never seen it like this before. And I realized, yeah, it's probably not Muslim.
Yeah, or it's like the woman will be wearing hijab and she's got a big tattoo, and it's just like, yeah, you're not really Muslim. Anyway, they're all like that. I'm pretty sure none of the stock footage with Muslims is like actual Muslims, right? And so it's just not right. It just doesn't make sense, right? And I was thinking like, yeah, to make legit, authentic stock footage of Muslims, that would be a good business. But now that's gone, right? Because now AI will just generate like authentic, real like stock footage. Not now, Yanni, but give it maybe 1-2 years,
It's like,
and
it's
we'll
like
get it up.
compounded.
Yeah,
It's like compounded growth, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because now the AI can then learn off all
By
the
it, from
information.
its
It's
own,
just
yeah.
and it'll just get quicker and quicker
Yeah,
and quicker until where I don't know where the end game is. I really don't. I know we talk about it every
I
month,
think it's pretty negative.
every episode. You think it's bad?
I think overall it'll be bad. It's like social media, right? So
Yeah,
there are a lot
I
of
was gonna
benefits
say.
of social media, and we grew up with it and enjoyed it and this and that. But ultimately, we can't deny it was negative. Like if we could go back in time and stop it, we probably would. But khalas, it's here, yani, alhamdulillah.
Oh God, yeah.
So
Oh
what
God,
can we do? Yeah.
this is the golden age, and then it's gonna get.
And then AI is gonna have its what was that Facebook Cambridge Analytica moment, basically. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Something mad.
They're gonna make a movie out of it, like a proper movie, not just like a super, like a fictional movie. It's gonna be like a real, down to earth. Oh my God, what have we done? Movie.
Have you seen that movie? What's it called? The Social
Network.
The Social Network. Have you seen it?
I watched it years ago, probably when it came out.
Because I haven't, right? But I saw this clip. They used this clip on in a podcast I listened to, and it's that bit where he's like, "Forget $1 million. $1 million is not cool." And then it cuts to another scene, and he's like, $1 billion. So they use this clip. They do it in a cool way with this thing. So I just saw that clip, and then when I watched it, I was like, "Yeah, that would be a cool movie." Is it about Facebook, Yanni?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's about Zuckerberg's sort of origins. It's the origin story of Facebook.
Really? Okay.
And how he pretty much, I think he kind of,
He
it's been a
backstabbed
while
his
since seeing it.
partners, his
Yeah, I was going
founder,
to say, I think he
co-founders.
stole, essentially, yeah. The guy who made Napster, wasn't it?
Maybe,
Something like that.
Don't know.
Bro, remember those days? LimeWire and all that?
Yes, I do.
LimeWire was
Do those things still exist now?
I don't even want to look. I don't even want to search. I'm just gonna get virus. LimeWire was like
days of
50-50,
viruses.
wasn't it? It was like
Yeah.
you're either going to get the file you want or you're going to have a bad time.
You spend like half an hour downloading what you thought was like a song, and it turns out to be something completely different.
It was Russian roulette, bro. It's like it was like having 4 in a chamber. And then like one of them is going to be the empty one. You looking it up?
Yeah,
You're a brave man.
LimeWire, it still exists. It says LimeWire, empowering artists through ownership. The new LimeWire. LimeWire is the place to take control of your content, connect with your biggest fans, and get paid for doing what you love.
Oh, I'm
Seems
gonna
like they've kind of pivoted,
it
I
back.
guess.
That's it. We're going to go and use it. What are they doing?
I don't know.
Can you imagine how much I was having a look at like domain names and like how much they go for these days.
Yeah.
I wonder how much they could sell that website for.
It looks like they've made it into like a Patreon thing.
Maybe. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah. It's like it's almost like Gumroad. You heard of Gumroad?
Yeah.
I do like Gumroad. Anyway,
Let's wrap it up.
this has been Mind Heist.
One thing I just want to wrap up with is, look, it's Ramadan, and I do feel like my goal is to end Ramadan feeling like, ooh, like, you know, when you're I don't know, you're doing an intense sprint or you're whatever, yani, circuit training or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when it's over, you're kind of like, oh, that was tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my goal. I don't want to end and be like, that was like last year, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And I think, yani, we need to, I mean, this is not just for Ramadan, yani, but it's just that Ramadan, the opportunity is big. But this is in life generally. It's like, you know, rest when you're dead. And the thing that you know, exhaust yourself in or exhaust your efforts in is obviously the ibadah of Allah. And of course, you could do that through these direct listed means like praying and dhikr and Quran. And you can also do it through serving the servants of Allah. But yeah, we need to like exhaust ourselves, yani, obviously in a sustainable way, in a way that you inshallah be able to continue in some form. So yeah, let's get it, baby.
Yeah, let's do it.
Bro, there's this guy, yeah, good brother, he lives around here and he's from one of these southern states, okay?
Ooh.
And, bro, you know, when I meet these people face to face, it's pretty embarrassing. It's pretty bad because I can't help myself doing that accent. And they probably think I'm making fun of them the whole time. But I just love it, bro. So the guy's sitting we were in a cafe or whatever, and he's sitting and his daughter came, his little daughter. She came, and then he's like, 1 second, baby, I'm talking. I'm just like, oh my God, this is beautiful, typical.
Like a movie.
Yeah.
It's associated with movies too much.
Yeah, it is. It's like, I'm like watching a movie, Andy. 1 second, baby.
1 second, baby.
Oh man,
talking to a mean.
Yeah, funny man. I love them. I love it.
Like bad.
Allah yahdihum.
We need to go out there one day. Maybe when America's more welcoming. We go and see Sharif.
Yeah.
We go and see the homestead.
Maybe if we can fly directly to, what state is he in again? New Mexico, right?
Yeah.
We fly directly into New Mexico, then there's no like immigration because it's like a Muslim state by now.
Absolutely. It's
That's
called
the situation.
El Andalusia.
El Andalusia state, exactly.
Call it New Spain.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What a time.
He'll just put us to work, bro. But yeah.
Exhaust us. He will exhaust us, yeah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك اشهد ان لا اله الا انت استغفرك واتوب اليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.